Hello everyone. Oh my fucking hell, I have some loot back. There we go. Much better. How is everyone? How has your week been so far? I hope you have a wonderful Friday. Especially since I am streaming. Woo! You're not allowed to have a bad Friday now that I'm streaming. Simple as that. I can tell you, I had some week. Some messy, long work week, and I will freely admit that uh, getting used to having a well, that about sums it up for me. But being tired is your own fault if you stream for 7 hours. Um, I can tell you that after a year without work, getting back into it with the same hatred you had for the job before you stopped, uh, it's something. It is something. Something that is only very mildly enjoyable, let me put it that. I can't quite put my finger on it, what annoys me the most, although I can tell you it's probably the lingo, the constant quarterly revenue, the yada yada release, yada ding dong, AI, blah bloop, gotta get stuff done ASAP, yadoodle. Oh, not that one. That one. Yeah, it's I think I just figured it out. I think that's what annoys me the most. You're not that young and spry anymore, Marco. If you go for too long on Tuesday, um, it will probably carry over until for the next 2 days or something. You're old. I love pointing that out. I mean, I only got so many more years before it hits me too, but I got those. I'm safe for now. Uh, Alright, where were we? We were at the start of a new day, which means we need. Well, actually, not quite the start, but whatever. Which means we need to get work done. So we can't do those three, obviously, because they need more action points than we have. So let's do Kurathon. A grizzled man limps up to you, scratching at a scarred jaw with a dirt black fingernail. I'm after a weaponsmith. Now listen, I know a good blade when I see one, so don't you try fob me up with a half-assed rope. Saying running on barely 5 hours of sleep is nothing had nothing to do with it. Woohoo! I say no nothing. Except that I want you to sleep more. Not when I'm around though. Not today. Today we do something fun. I need to do something fun. Huh? Stiffness? Has that one been there before? I feel like Stiffness had a different name before. Anyway, what does he want? He wants about an average length with a medium stiffness, a walnut brown handle, one-handed, narrow-pointed. What was that? Nothing important, I think. One-handed and narrow-pointed. Let's do the length first. I did something. Okay, for context, for everybody here that doesn't know, which probably isn't a lot, I suffer from insomnia, really bad. At least recently, really bad. They're better in their worst times. Currently, it's worse. Although it's evening out again a bit, so it was worse. Now it's getting about average. Average. Well, average for me. um. So, yesterday I had to go to the office, which doesn't happen a lot in my job. I can work from home quite a lot, but I had to go to the office, which was 1.5 hours of train ride away, and doing that on basically no sleep, then working there for 6 hours, interacting with people while secretly hating the way they speak, and then having to go back again with a 1.5 hour train ride, on which I actually fell asleep for, I think, 30, 40 minutes. That was something. Uh, okay. Thickness. I'm actually thinking about making this, considering he wants a high stiffness, I'll leave the blade a bit thicker than usual. And the width, does he have, well, he wants, it is currently, he doesn't want anything specific with the width. I'll make it a bit bigger because I have an image in my mind of a Viking splitter blade, which might be quite funny with a narrow point. Yeah, that will look so weird with a splitter point. With a narrow point. I don't need taper. I don't need taper. I do need cross section. Actually, that's more more than a um more than a Viking splitter blade. So far, it's a bit more like like an overly thick, simply shaped gladius. Let's do something about the convexity. Ooh yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. It's not particularly sharp, but it doesn't have to be. If you get hit by this beast, it's gonna hurt. I don't understand why there's no sharpness attributed to it right now. This should be sharp. Should also hurt. Whatever. Alright, we said Viking splitter bait, so we go with a Peterson guard. A bit smaller. Yeah, that's good. With a one-handed, so that one. What kind of pommel would work well in this? Probably in a Norse three-lobed. Yeah. Yeah, yeah. There's something I wanted to try out though. Ooh. I'm getting fancy now. Okay. Walnut brown. Walnut brown, ribbed lamp leather, or cow leather and wood. I'll give him ribbed lamp leather. Do I have spikes? How big is a quillon? Bit too big. Hey Ben, welcome in. Sorry for the bad internet. I hope it fixes itself soon. It's kinda cool. I can add emblems now. Oh, this sword isn't worth an emblem though. Yeah, I'm pretty happy with that. I'm surprised it can make a knuckle guard. Doesn't really make sense on this kind of blade to have a knuckle guard, but I added it. I wanted now. He takes the weapon with a practiced grip. His confident stance and well-read movements speak of some military background, perhaps. Fair enough, Smithy. Heads off to you. Not a bad job. You've reached level 6. What did I need to do the job for Sergeant? Curved blades. Curved blades. But there we go. I mean, I can technically do it now. I think my materials are also pretty good for that. But I would really like... Well, okay, if she wants a curved blade, I shouldn't do a fuller. Though, I think engravings wouldn't hurt. Also considering that it increases my finesse. I can do... Yeah, I shouldn't go over the fancy for Sergeant Glenn. Heavy shackles, horseshoe, shackles. I'll take the shackles out. Yeah. End the day. What do we have? Let's take a gander along the camp. Inside the walls of Aaron Keep, desperate souls gather in makeshift tents, pleading for entry. Let's speak to Sandrick, how he's doing. We find the boy sitting by the fire, Clodo sat faithfully by his side. They're both so thin it's painful to behold. Let's share some food with him. You pull a hunk of bread from your pocket, your meal for the night. The boy's eyes light up. As though afraid you'll withdraw the offer, he quickly snatches the meal from your grasp and splits it in two. Half goes to Clodo, who snaps it up in 2 bites. Thanks. The dog nuzzles into your flank upon petting, growling contentedly. You leave the two of them together, boy and dog, alone in a hostile world. At least they have each other. I'm heading back from Forth Hospital with my folk to discover my tragic funny condition is zero update until I need to come back to the same place sometime, I guess. And let me guess, by that time there'll still not be any update. Ugh. Let's speak to Chef. We find Chef sitting outside her tent, gnawing at a chicken bone that's already picked clean. Nice to see you again. I'm just enjoying my dinner. I'd offer you some, but I'm still waiting for my sommelier to pair the perfect wine. What's the latest gossip around camp? Oh, you know, the usual things. Petty fights and thefts. People die and new people turn up from the waste to replace them. Leave Chef to her meal. Thanks for stopping by. I returned to my tent. Climb into your bedroll, massaging your swollen joints and trying to ignore the rumbling in your belly. Maybe tomorrow will be a better day. Peak healthcare. Nah, that'll be for skin. To be fair, you do live in Great Britain, which for European standards has one of the worst healthcares. Alright, let's see what Glenn wants. Sergeant Glenn asked for a sword she'd be proud to display at a parade ground. There's no room for error. If the blade isn't up to her standards, you'll hang. You have one chance. It has to be leagues above the blades you've made so far. Oh, for fuck's sake, I need silver, I need gold, I need twisted steel. It needs to be two-handed with a slightly curved blade and a narrow point. Do I even have gold currently? I have some silver, I don't have any gold. Ah! Alright, to the peddler. Peddler perks up as you approach. The usual. Let's see. Let's buy 5 gold. How much money do I have? Not a lot. I guess that's all. Speaking of, we should do another peak SCP. Oh, you say SCP, I'm just back to work these days, so give me a little bit of time, I'm sorry. Alright, let's go. Slightly above average length. She wants it pretty stiff. She does... well, no, she wants it pretty sharp, so I'll make it a bit thin. Hey Marco, would you be interested in joining another peak stream? Narrow point... slightly curved. Hey Cap, welcome in. Okay, did I miss something? At what point did Marco get so sensitive to suggestive, or slightly suggestive, words in the game? I think it's more because of the average length and above average length. But maybe. Key cross section. Actually, this blade only needs to be sharp in the front. When I get the time for it, sure, I figure out when to do that. Repo and Man of Medan. Don't worry, I don't really think there's any time constraint to it. I'm never used to anything. go. Worried about the graphics. Well, every solid game these days has an option to switch up the graphics a little bit. How is that not at maximum sharpness? Yeah. I'm doing for anything except Final Fantasy and blacksmithing. Well, blacksmithing is what I do. How is that not at maximum sharpness? Ah. Okay, let's see if I can do the other stuff first. Makes the most sense. I mean, it's definitely cutting blade, so I think a Peterson type H would make the most sense. Everything else would get in the way. Though perhaps we could. Wait, is the go to cross section? Hello? Can you? Thank you. Okay, no. The sharpness is not because of that. Whatever. Okay, two-handed. Let's see, definitely considering it's a blade for for a high up, we're definitely putting a line set on it. I think I'm wondering about the... I don't think I'll use that thinning grip. Actually... Yeah, let's take 2 twisted grips. Let's make you a bit bigger again. Can I turn you around? I think... Yeah, that's better. Looks a bit weird. Don't find anything... yeah, but real life blacksmithing is not all that. Real life blacksmithing is cool. I understand what you mean. Like, there are definitely a couple of difficult things to it, but... Let's see, gold. Let's make... a gold pommel and a silver guard. The grip looks way too long for the length of that blade. Something from the Book of Twisted Steel. Okay, a quillin. I'm happy to add a quillin. That actually is a pretty nice addition. It's just long and random. Did you have any interest in the Vice Victoria game? I haven't looked into the game yet. The biggest issue I personally have is... Oh, you want more of that book. The biggest issue I have is that I'm not actually that much into these kind of games. I mean, yeah. Okay, that's not entirely true. I am into these kind of games. The bigger issue is just that... what's the right way to say it? I don't stick for them that long usually. Okay, let's see, Aspen. Do I like that? Kinda not. If I could turn that so it's... If I could turn that so it's facing towards the blade, I would consider it, but this way it's just, you know, sticking out like a sore thumb, and I don't like that. Ooh, that could be a good idea. Let's see. Elven blade, you say? I guess a little bit. I don't like that I have to put gold and silver in. I think it would be nicer if it's just gold or just silver. But I just had an idea. Are you kidding me? That's not enough gold for you or what? Is that enough gold for you? No, it isn't. Okay, let me make the whole blade gold. No, of course not. I did have enough silver for that. Ah! Guess it has to be that way. No, I don't have enough gold. Is that enough gold? Yeah. Okay, I think that's... I'm more happy with that. It's more balanced gold and silver wise. I want to give it also a nice grip. I think I'll use ripped lamp leather because it's better for the grip. Not black though, black is too much. Brown, no. Blue? Does blue work? It works in Minecraft. We're not in Minecraft though. Saddle brown. I think it's actually gonna be the fine wood. I would love to make that grip a little bit 1.5-handed, for example. Um, I think that would work way better visually. This way it looks unbalanced, to be fair. I'll see if I can get a little bit more length out of it. Okay, that's the maximum length I can go. Is that better? A little bit, I guess. Need to curve it more. Or less. Ah, okay, less. As a blacksmithing game would be a great game to start dropping in some German. Very cool words on this topic. The funny thing is that I have a hard time, like, consciously doing a little bit of German. I mean, a respectable length. It's 61%. It has a length of 91 centimeters. We need a name for this sword, guys. Come on, come up with a name. Come on. Can't do all the work by myself. I'm outsourcing. Sorry, that one slipped out. 91 centimeters, crazy. 91 centimeters for a sword, or for a saber, as this would be more of a saber, is not that crazy, I think. What annoys me more is if you look at the point of balance, it's at negative about a centimeter, which is fine, don't get me wrong, but it's slightly off balance. It has slightly more heft to the grip than to the blade. And that annoys the heck out of me. Um, because it means there's energy getting lost. The point of balance for a saber should be a bit higher, so that when you swing it at your opponent, it has more heft to it. Well, I didn't think she'd understand the slight you'd call a widow's wail. I love that. Widow's wail. It's taking a while to come through it a little fast. Widow's wail. Can I do anything to increase the weight on the top? Not really, it seems. Like that did like 0.02 centimeters on the point of balance. I could make the pommel smaller. That's a bit too small. Okay, that's the point of balance. Point of balance would now be about here. Okay, now we have the point of balance perfect. Well, not. Mine was mass based. If I'm not wrong. It's literally a yard. Now the point of balance should be about here. Well, probably more about here. So that's a way more balanced weapon. I think for a saber, the point of balance should probably be like here. But it's fine. The game doesn't want me to be that accurate, so why should I be? At last it's done. The blade that will spell the difference between entry, turn, keep, or swinging at the end of a row. Chef's been watching you work on the forge for the last hour, hovering at the periphery of your encampment. Is this it? Are you done? This is it. Good luck, Smithy. She pulls you into a tight embrace. And remember what I said about my uncle. If you do make it into the city. From this angle, the blade looks pretty cool. It's always about the angle. Alright, I should make a little bit more money of the day before I head over to hand the weapon out. Victoria. The scarred woman dumps the damaged weapon on your anvil with a loud clang. Look at this useless piece of dross. I'm fed up pretending I think you kill man. Think you can get it in working order? Sure thing. You want me to improve the sharpness, which makes sense. That is not a sword. That is a stick. Look at that. It's completely there is no sharpness at all to this. Cross section. There we go. There we go. That was easy. Oh, she wants me to do something about the balance as well. Okay. Point of balance. Oh yeah, that point of balance is a bit high. I can't get I can't take this stuff off. Okay, let's see. If I can't take the stuff off, the balance is towards the blade, so let's shorten the blade a bit. I lost the point. Wait, she wants the balance. She wants the balance higher? Huh? She wants my heft to it, okay. Guess. Why though? Oh god. The tool just did something weird. Do you have any family S words? Do you mean family sorts? No. My mom is, or has always been utterly appalled um, by weaponry. Okay, let's do a new point because there was something weird about that. My mom has always been utterly appalled by weaponry, so I do have some training swords though from my training days. There we go. Why does that upset the balance? Okay, good enough. Finally. You have family swords? Interesting. She hefts the weapon with satisfaction, testing its balance. Good as new. Way better. Why, I bet it could slice the lids from a man's eyes before he can blink. Cheers, Smithy. My enemies will lament your name. Well, I'm at $50. That should help me out a bit. The outer gate looms over the camp, both threat and beacon. Refugees gather, pleading for entry, while impassive guards look on. The guard is slouching against the ramparts, gazing out over the horizon. His heavy-lidded eyes flicker your way only when you call for his attention. Huh? What do you want? The guard sneers especially pronounced this evening. I finished making the sergeant's sword. The guard looks you up and down from atop the wall. At last, with a roll of his eye, he turns and bellows a command. The pot of kilts rises, the great doors swing open. Well, not me, family somewhere, yeah. The other side is one big fancy dagger. We don't trust those ones. There's probably some in the tower. What tower? I'm going to see you swing one day, worm. Hopefully today. You walk into the gatehouse and wait for the sergeant's arrival, suffering the impatient glares of the guards. The sergeant is otherwise occupied. By the time she arrives, the first rays of dawn are in the sky. Let's see it then. She takes a sword in her hand, holding it up in the light. She twists the blade this way and that, her eyes glittering. Your heart stops beating until she finally pronounces, "Acceptable. By official decree of the Crown, sanctioned under the gaze of Master King, I declare you worthy of stepping into the role of Aaron Keep's new swordsmith." Her voice is flat and emotionless. One eyebrow arches as she awaits her reaction. The last one is Tower of London. Of course, this stuff definitely ended up at some point in the last few centuries. I won't go for the third thing. That's pressing my luck. Thank you. Praise the Masked King. I will, indeed. Remember, your entry into Aaron Keep is a privilege, not a right, and it can be taken away as easy as a snap of my fingers. Your every waking moment should be spent considering how you can be useful to the city. It's an empty forge in the artisan's quarter that has not been maintained since the previous smith vanished. It is now your duty to fix it back up and start supplying swords to the city as soon as you can. Consider it as part of your reputation in civilized society. Wait, the previous smith vanished? Aye, and you'd best think about that before you get up to any mischief. Without any other word, the sergeant turns and marches away, leaving him standing in awkward silence beside the guards with his gate guardsman. Here. A piece of parchment bearing the Masked King's crimson wax seal is thrust into your hands. It grants you the right to work within Aaron Keep, until such time as His Majesty deems otherwise. Here, gate a permit allowing you to live and work in Aaron Keep. Get out of here. And directions to the forge? Just shut up. You're lucky you don't have a noose around your neck. Entering from the gatehouse, you find yourself in the last safe city in all of Temple. Woo! We made it through the furlough. Wisps of smoke from morning fires trace corkscrews in the sky. The dawn air is filled with the hum and bustle of the city waking up. Well, you gotta be more specific about something went wrong. I can't tell you if that is an issue that can pop up on my end if I don't know what exactly happened. Ask for directions. You approach the first friendly face you see. A tall youth with a broad frame and a tangled mop of straw-colored hair. He's hauling a wheelbarrow stacked high with leather hides. Hello? Can I help you? I'm the new swordsmith in town. Oh, you're Tesson's replacement. I've got delivery to make, but he glances at his wheelbarrow of goods, then shrugs. A short detour won't hurt. I'll show you the way to the forge. Are you sure? It's quite heavy. Take the handle to quickly find the truth of his words. The barrow is heaped with high with the tower of swaying leather hides, and your muscles, still weakened by starvation and illness, shudder under the strain of controlling it. But you are able to steer it nonetheless. Caswin pats your shoulder in appreciation. Thanks, friend. I've been pushing this barrow since dawn. As you follow the man through the streets of Keep, you can't help but marvel. When was the last time you saw people look so happy and well fed? So many intact houses, so many proud spires. In a city this size, how can you be in need of a blacksmith? Oh, we have plenty of smiths. We don't lack for plows and horseshoes, but Tesson Felber, the master swordsmith, went missing a few months ago. No one else in Merrin Keep can make high-quality blades. He went missing? What happened? You'd have to ask someone else. I sometimes delivered leathers to the old Tesson. I didn't speak with him much. He scared me, to tell the truth. I've never met a man who could scowl like that, like a walking thundercloud. Well, hopefully whatever happened to him doesn't happen to me. The youth laughs awkwardly. Your arms start to ache from the strain of the barrow. You know, my father was a smith too, back before the sun ring. Back when he was... He hesitates, searching for the right word. Around. My elder brother was the true apprentice, the one meant to inherit the forge. But I picked up a few things. Why didn't you go into the family trade? No, that one's good. You know, there's likely room at my forge for an assistant. Really? Aye, good assistants are hard to come by. The youth's excited expression The youth's excited expression fades. He glances down at his wheelbarrow. Fortunately, I'm stuck working for the tannery. How come? It's a long story, but I'm deep in debt with the Houndsburg League. They're the merchant guild who run all the trade in and out of Erin Keep. They have me working at the tannery until my debt's cleared, and can't defy the league in Erin Keep and live. There must be some way to get you out of this. Well, you could talk to the owner of the tannery, but he's not exactly a reasonable man. The air buzzes with laughter and friendly chatter. The market stalls bustle as coins and rumors are swapped. It's almost enough to make you forget the guards who stand at every corner, hands on the hilts of their swords. Here we are, the artisan's quarters. Your forge is just ahead. There it is, a sprawling building by the canal. Stone chimney stack jutting stubbornly against the sky. Doors hanging off its hinges. You set the barrow down with a sigh. Thank you for guiding me here. It's no problem. He sticks out his hand. My name's Caswin, by the way. Nice to meet you, Smithy. There'll be space at my forge if you get free of the tannery, Caswin. I appreciate it. And thanks for helping with the barrow. Why didn't you take off some of these cuts? I'm sure you'll find use for them. He walks away. The barrow's wheel weaving across the cobbles. The new location has been marked on your map. The tannery. The door yawns open, spilling sunlight into the long neglected domain of dust and cobwebs. A rat skitters away into the shadow. Drop some posters. No one in Erin Keep knows the forge is back in business. If you put up some posters around town, you'll get the word out. You take the time to scratch the crude advertising on scraps of parchment. Your name, address, a motto. Oh my god. Every single person in a position of power in the setting is a raging psychopath, openly drooling to spill blood for fun example number 1000. Yeah, it's It's low fantasy medieval ages. What are you on about? Okay, what do we have? We don't just forge weapons, we forge perfection. No, too much. Metal to match your metal. I like that one. Cutting edge blades that cut praise rights. Nope. Today's victories, tomorrow's heirlooms. Okay, the last one is funny. I like the last one, but I'm considering the second one. What do you guys think? Also, yes, I'm snacking. Second one for being punny. Oh yeah, I forgot we're the pun squad, aren't we? Metal to match your metal. Yeah, I think that one is not all that arrogant while still being on point. That should do. You put your quill to the paper and soon some posters are ready. Luckily, your cache of supplies is still here, enough to keep you in business for a few days at least. But it won't last forever. 50 steel, 20 leather, and 30 wood. Not bad. You'll need to find an ironmonger who can keep you supplied with good steel, a carpenter who can supply you wood, and someone who sells decently quality leather. Stale air holds an afterthought of the scent of sounded irons, flame and smoke, but all the tools are here. And the chimney holds its breath. The anvil still is tuned. And your hammer strikes a prelude, and your flint taps the count off as you light the fire. On point, A. Why are you so punny today? Did you eat some funny beans? A mirth of the crows. Ezekiel. No. Yeah. I dropped my snack. Alright, Emirth, what do you have for me? The woman at the workshop's entrance is tall and lithe, clad in filth black leather. A black hair twisted around what looks like a human femur. A black hair twisted around what looks like a human femur. A bone? What? Huh? Her cloak trails the ground behind her, edges splattered crimson. Greetings to you, Smith. I be Emirth, fourth sword of the bloody cloaks. I seek a sword to cut down my foes like a grain of the harvest. We bloody cloaks are a merry lot. You can find our encampment in the Lost City if you be inclined to take a brew with us. Why are you called the bloody cloaks? She swishes her cloak with a grin. Each recruit gets a white coat, and it's their task to turn it to crimson with battle blood. If the cloak is still white after you first taste the combat, you give them the boot. What do the bloody cloaks fight for? The waste of all the warlords. Men are ruled through stank and cunning, and they constantly war with each other over territory. Loot, slaves. They can make a pretty living working for one side or t'other. And everyone knows the bloody cloaks are the best business of butchery, so we get paid top coin. Why are the bloody cloaks camped outside Erin Keep? Amherst rolls her eyes. Silas, same question every morning. There's no fights here, tells him. No coin to be earned. But he follows the beat of his own drum, does Silas. He insists that some great violence brewing the keep, and he wants to be here when it breaks out. Tell me more about the blade you want. Nothing fancy. Something that'll split skull and pierce breastplates. Make sure it sparks fear in the heart. Okay. Medium sharpness. Leather. One-handed with a narrow point and a medium length. It's a lack of sleep and delirium. If that was the point, I would also make some silly jokes. Alright. Thickness. She doesn't have any special wishes with weight and balance, so I think I'll make it pretty thick and a bit wide, because she specifically said to split some skulls, and you need a pretty heavy heft to split a skull. Okay, yep. Medium sharpness, low impact. That's not bad. Too fancy. Oh, I could have rotated that. I'm so silly. Whatever. Yeah, that's better. I prefer that. Okay, one-handed. These blood cloaks sound like someone Century would have made art of. Yes, but in that case, they would have been either very attractive or weirdly cute. I'm not quite happy with this yet. Ooh. Okay, now I'm getting overly fancy and I'm aware of it. Ooh. Come on. That's cool. Point of balance is pretty high, which explains the high impact. Pretty hefty. Okay, this blade has a surprisingly good catch, so I'll call it Split Catcher. Mirth takes the fresh forged blade with a glint of violence in her eyes. Oh, I can wreak some terrible havoc with this. Thank you, Smithy. It's much obliged. She scatters coins across the counter and marches out, her blood-stained cloak fluttering behind her. You have gained reputation with the faction. Select the highlighted button to see how to reach the next rank. Kraus, rank 0, 36 out of 250 rep. Ezekias. Alright. If the expensive silks didn't give away the customers well, his plump belly would. Denizens of Erin Keep might not face daily famine like the applicants do, but only the rich eat well enough to put fat on their frames. Greetings, good Smithy. I'm in need of a fine sword to wear at my hip, something that befits my station. Okay, a strongly curved, narrow-pointed two-handed with some saddle brown leather. He doesn't care about anything else except it's supposed to be some length to it. Okay. Let's taper the whole width a bit. Yep. This blade will cut some butter. Alright. Now let's see. There we go. Come on. There. Ooh, I can deform it a bit. Interesting. No. Ah. Why is it so hard to put it on there? Come on. There. So you're too big. Yeah. Come on. There. There. Hi, Casey. Not that big. Why does everybody keep calling the swords big when they aren't? Okay, two-handed. Let's take a mild taper with a strong taper. What do we put on the end of this? Something fancy. A ring would technically be fancy, but I don't like a ring. A Brazil nut? I think the Brazil nut would bring the point of balance down a good bit, but no. A twisted pear? Okay, yeah, that's it. You need to be a bit bigger. There we go. Nice. And now some saddle brown leather. One brown, saddle brown, cow brown. Since this is showing off blade, it's gonna be cow leather, which is a bit smoother than structured leather, which is easier to grip. Gotta say, not bad. I'm not sure I can make a proper Odachi in this game. Though to be fair, from all I've seen, you can make some crazy shit in this game. Some people have taken the mechanics to the extreme and made things that aren't even swords. Yeah, yeah. I've seen. I don't know if I can do that though. Not sure if I'm that good. Do I have some gold left? Nope, I don't. I think he would. He could have probably liked some gold on it, but alright. Let's put an emblem on it though. That area right here is predestined for that. Boop. Do I have some silver left? I do. There we go. Some silver. Me waiting to see when they add Odachi into Blatant Sorcery. Considering that in Blatant Sorcery you tend to just stab and punch basically instead of properly swinging. It doesn't make a difference. Stick to your hammers. Precarious. It's a combination of precarious and precious, and it sounds Latin. But actually it doesn't make any sense. So, you know, that's a good name for a pretentious plump man. The plump man smiles with a content seal as he draws the sword part way. The steel glimmers. A fine blade indeed. Perhaps I shall recommend your services to my friends. Just a second. Alright, the day is over, considering I don't have any action points left. I do have a couple of dollars, so, and actually I'm pretty close to level 7, which is quite nice. So, let's end the day. The tannery. I'll see. I think I'll go to the tannery first, for a challenge run at least. They've been adding the more Japanese style enemies and weapons in. I haven't played it in a while. I want to go back so bad because I love the game, but I haven't been feeling up to it all that much recently. Oh damn, it's an actual tannery, like, whole yard of it. The smell hits you before the tannery comes into view, and it hits you hard. Nauseating blend of rotting flesh, stale piss, and caustic lime. Rounding the corner, you see the source of the stench. Workers stand waist deep in large wooden vats filled with manure and urine, stamping the mixture into hides. Others scrape fat and flesh from skins with curved knives, the wet slapping sound carrying across the yard. You find him deep in a conversation with a woman with a wild tangle of hair and a bow slung across her shoulder. She's standing beside a cart loaded with fresh animal hides. The woman sees you first, her eyes keen and bright. She smiles to Keswin, and her smiles are like a dazzling blade. I'll leave you talk to your friend. Game reminds me of Disco Elysium somehow. Maybe I should actually finish that game. I don't know that game. She slips away. A puzzled Keswin turns and spots you, recognition taking a moment to flicker across his face. Well met, Smithy. Sorry about the smell. Is there anything you need? Who was that? Oh, that was the huntress. She keeps us supplied with animal hides. Well, her and the herders up in the farming district. To be honest, I don't know her actual name. I've been quite brave enough to ask. How's life in the tanning yard, Keswin? Oh, you know, I don't want to complain. Took me a while, but I'm almost used to the smell. And I'm so tired by the end of the day, I don't even have to worry about bad dreams. I just collapse straight into bed. Farewell if you need me. I'll be here. He sighs. You find the owner seated behind an oak desk in an outbuilding insulated from the worst of the stench. Sweat glistens on his fleshy jowls. Jowls? And his fingers are adorned with silver rings. This is not a man with any personal experience of leatherworking. He looks up when you enter, his eyes flashing with irritation. What now? Another complaint about the smell? Greetings, I'm the new swordsmith in Erin Keep. The man's fleshy features shift into a calculated smile. Greetings, Smithy. Name's Purrish, and I'm the leather trade. What can I do for you this fine day? Do you have a man named Keswin in your employ? Keswin? Aye, he's a good worker. Tireless, doesn't complain. He owes a substantial debt to the Houndsburg League. I'm helping him pay off one day at a time. Without my generosity, he'd have 2 broken legs and only a begging bowl to his name. He's mine. Doesn't matter to you. I was hoping to hire him at my forge. He snorts derisively. You're welcome to him, but the man owes us a considerable sum. You just need to wait about 10 years. You should have paid off his debt by then. How much would it cost to buy Keswin's freedom? He pours through his ledger, muttering calculations. With interest? $2,000. I doubt you can stump up that kind of money. Why should such steep costs for a man's freedom? He's one of my best workers. I won't let him go until he's worked off every penny. I've heard of a man named Lucas Baronia? And the tenor's eyebrows rise. Matter of fact, I do know the man. Everyone knows Lucas. He's been a great friend to my family. Why do you ask? I don't think I'll mention Shavana to him. He snores, jowls wobbling. Not like I was interested anyway. Where can I find him? He's in the Citadel Square almost every night, sitting his usual table outside the Fallen Doe. Good luck getting a word in edgewise, though. What do you know about the missing swordsmith? Rumor is that Tesson has murdered his poor wife and fled into the wastes to escape the king's justice. Sounds plausible enough to me. You do well to drop this line of inquiry, Smithy. Tesson was a scoundrel. No one in the city misses him, especially now you're here to take his role in the city's supply chain. Can I buy some leather? We don't deal with individuals. We sell in bulk to established customers. He looks you up and down with a grunt. But if you help out the tannery for a few hours, I can give you some off-cuts to take home. To bid goodbye to the tannery owner. You're treated to a simpering smile as you leave his office. Work for an evening. Fine. The supervisor leads you to a bloody hide, stretched over a wooden rack. He hands you a knife and walks away without further explanation. You try, but you mustn't scream for rest after a full day of hammering. Hours of scraping fat from flesh isn't feasible. You hand the knife back and call it a day, rubbing his sore arms. It'll take weeks to get the smell out of your clothes. A new day has dawned. A new day, a new day. Jovan. Fine. What does Jovan want? Hand and a half with two sword essentials and a narrow point. High sharpness, low stiffness, medium length. A young crow swaggers in, covered in filth and scars. First time in Errant Cape, and I was told you're the one to go to. Nice here in civilization, ain't it? Nice and soft, like a pig's belly. It's something that'll make those city folk piss themselves. Sharp enough to got a man proper. Okay. He wants it pretty sharp, so I'll make it very thin. Probably a bit wider. He wanted a narrow point. Well, he wanted narrow points actually. No, not very wide. Okay. There we go. Let's taper the width a bit. Okay, that's not a sword, that's a needle. Cross section. There we go. How do I add how do I add stiffness to that? Okay, let's add a bit of width, I guess. How do I add stiffness? Rating is improved for making your blade thicker at the expense of more weight. Experiment with distal tapering, hollow cross sections, and fullers to keep the weight low. Okay, let's make it a bit wider. And now edge thickness. Spine width. Have you tried making the cross section lenticular? Lenticular. You mean? Okay. Welcome in first, Black Metal Maniac. I have to admit, and that is quite embarrassing. I have to look up lenticular right now. My my English isn't my first language. Okay, hold on, towards the outside. Oh, you even gave me the translation. Thank you very much. That is a good idea. Let's see. Wrong direction. That way. Let's take the spine width down again a bit. Wrong direction. That looks like the nail. A little bit. I can see that, yeah. Convex. Wrong direction. Oh. That's as far as I can go, and sadly it doesn't change up the stiffness. Blade thicker at the expense of more weight. Oh, there we go. Looks like the base is very thin as well. Maybe thicker and add taper thickness. Good idea. Let's see. I think let's taper it only here. Does look a lot like the nail from Hollow Knight. Alright, we have the stiffness, we have the sharpness. Looks good. Sword let's go here. Sword essentials. I think a Solingen will make good work here. Where are we with the point of balance? If someone had made the pure nail. Probably. Would be surprised if nobody had so far. Stroke big stash and appreciation. Oh, you had a question, Ben? Don't give up, Casey. Tell us what you meant, or what you think Bin meant. I have many. Are seals related to walruses, and if so, how? You already did the ink one. People have made fish and forklifts in creative. 100% sure someone has made that as well. They have. I've seen some shorts from the what's the word? Creators of the game on YouTube. Some people have come up with crazy things, and some people have come up with swords or sword designs that so far I'm not even aware how to make them. Dragon form? Are you asking for my dragon form? There was a big message earlier. You want to see my dragon form? Is that your question? Okay. Um, I have thought about the full dragon form already, so there's definitely that. I will freely admit though that there is no. Hey Nova, I will freely admit though that there aren't any official designs so far. I would have to commission them first, and that means money, and that is money I don't want to spend right now. So, for the moment, you will have to be patient until one day there might be a release. Until then, though, I can tell you, I'm a half dragon. I don't have a full dragon form. There's only like my mother, who was a full dragon, and how she looked. Okay, a hand and a half. Let's see. If you need scales, I have scales. Spend your scales, matey. I've played since the first playtest, and some things I can still can't wrap my hand around. Yeah, yeah, I I can very much relate. I've checked this game first out at some point in playtest, and I loved it from the very first moment on. But I feel like there's a very steep learning curve to it. Like, don't get me wrong, you can do the game just fine with with an average knowledge. Um, you can do the story and all that very well without being um, too deep into the technicalities. But I feel like there's still a lot to learn to make absolutely beautiful blades. Low point of entry, very high skill scene. Yes, thank you. Yes. And I think the people out there that have made. That's too big. Where's the point of balance currently? That blade has. Yeah, it's very hefty. It has a high impact. Why is. Looks so big. That's better. Um. Okay, 100 followers is asking quite much of me, Casey. Please, calm down. Calm down. I just made it back to 50 after the crash a while ago. Um, and also, why wait? If you have a question for me, you can do the secret redeem. I know, for example, Bin had had a question that I said needs a secret redeem. Okay. We're not at a hand and a half anymore. I think I overdid the length a little bit. I was at a hand and a half earlier. I don't know why I'm not there anymore. It's been a while since I made a hand and a half. How is that a hand and a half? That's two-handed. Whatever. I really think if I had a fuller, that would be quite good right now because that blade is so hefty. One, another one, sure. Just 50. You blew past me. I have been at 55 before the thing, Marco. Uh, Bin, why? Alright, I lost the point, but that's easy to fix. There we go. Looks like a bastard or a broadsword. If you can elongate or shorten the grip piece with the orange circle to make it long or short enough to fit the requirement. Oh, that's how it worked. I forgot about that. Oh yeah, I can even curve it like that. I forgot about that. Whee! Whee! This doesn't... Oh, it does stick. Yeah. There we go. Thank you, black metal. It's easy to forget some such details sometimes. Wait, that's actually kind of cool. Maybe not the right blade for that idea, but still kind of cool. Now it looks like a classic sword. Alright. Everything done. Been a bit pricey on the steel, but that's fine. He snatches the blade and immediately makes a few savage practice cuts through the air. This city might be full of milk bloods, but at least you know how to forge a proper blade. Not many weapons like that left in this world outside these walls. Time to see if these arena fights are worth it. Shift while doing to prevent the bending. Alright, I'll check that out on the next one. Yay, level 7 fuller. I want the fullers. Makes it way easier for me to do weight control. Praise the sun. Alright. Let's grab the helmet. How much steel do I have? 26. 12 steel from tools, nice. I'll still go to material, so that should be fine for the day. Citadel Square. Lots of blade, but not much song in this game so far. There is a song to it, the general song of the environment, the sad, the dry, the... all that, but besides, the background story has explained a bit about the voices, which are basically like the gods of this world, or have been about the gods. And as far as I understood, they were singing, and they're gone. So, you know. All the city streets eventually wind their way here, the grand plaza called Citadel Square. Market stalls trace a colorful maze around its perimeter. Above it all, the high citadel looms. Built into the bones of the mountain itself, the citadel's imposing gate is carved into sheer rock. Access is limited only to those of noble blood and their guests. Wagons fresh from the wastes unload their goods. A traveler in dusty leather sits on the barrel, regaling children with tales of the world outside. Search the marketplace for useful contacts. You walk beneath the awnings, keeping an eye out for anyone selling steel. Unfortunately, nothing notable catches your eye, but this seems a promising spot to find more reliable source of iron than the scrap peddler. Put up a poster. You locate a public notice board near the market stalls and pin your poster among the various announcements and advertisements. A few passerby glance over it with mild interest. Look at the Citadel gate. The guards on the steps are not your typical city watch. The watch who patrol the streets and man the walls wear battered breastplates and ragged cloaks. But the men guarding the citadel are knights. Their full plate gleams in the sun. Their cloaks are of rich red velvet. They display more plumage than an exotic bird. The swords to your expert eyes are of the highest quality. Approach the wagons. The wagons are spike-wheeled and armor-plated, drawn by jet-black horses of monstrous size. Each bears the same emblem, an armored fist clutching a bushel of golden wheat. Porters in the brown uniforms unload the wagons, stacking crates before the citadel gate. Stern-faced guards watch over the proceedings, crossbows cradled in their arms. One porter sets down his crate, wiping sweat from his brow. After a lifetime of heavy lifting, his arms are like tree trunks, but he has kind eyes. Can't talk long, lots of work left before sunset. Fun fact, someone made a sword called Songblade that has the musical score of the main Blade song theme engraved. How? Okay, no, I know how, I know the engravings, I can imagine how it works, but that must have taken hours. Days. What's in the boxes? Ore from the far mines, but handle goods from across what's left of the realm. Heightened tallow, ore-lined silks, sold from the Caravan coast. There's still trade out there for those with the courage to seek it. What does Aaron Keep trade with? The porter smiles bitter. Mostly warlords and nomads, and the few other outposts that have survived the long dusk. Little islands of the sanctuary floating atop the vast misery that devoured our world. I wanted to ask you about something else. Certainly. Need any help? You could help me shift these boxes. I can't pay you, at least not in coin, but we always have some stuff left over in the wagon at the end of the day. Help the porter. Appreciate it. Let's see what I can scrounge up for you. Here's something fell out of the boxes. Nothing the nobles will miss. One leather boot. That was hard work after hours at the forge, but your muscles stood up well. I mean, Songblade is by far not the most insane work. That would be Ortile. Okay, let me quickly look that up, because with that name... Oh my god. The Dragon Blood Katana also looks quite interesting. I love the rapier designs that are out there. Come on. Come on, Google. Show me the blade I want to see. There's some crazy sword designs out there. I can't find Ortel right now. Well, it has 7,000 to it. What the heck? That's a lot. It's pretty funny how mythical blades are portrayed in modern media as really extravagant pieces with plenty of detail, but then you look at the real blade, if it exists, and most of the time it's just a really popular sword at the time with a bit of funky shaping to it. Isn't that how everything works? He sticks out a meaty paw. Name's Ursus. I owe you one. Ursus, like bear. If you ever need help with something heavy, I'm your man. The sword was so crazy it forced the devs to patch the game because every time you open it, it costs a memory they can brick the game. I'll let you get back to work. Much to do, much to do. The porter goes back to pulling crates from the back of the wagon, humming tunelessly. The sun slipped below the horizon. Curfew draws near. The city watch swings their bells and shouts to citizens to make their way home. The evening air grows chill and the warmth of home beckons. Down steep and winding streets you go, leaving the bustle of Citizen Square behind. Wait, I needed to talk to a specific dude. Have a good lunch, Marco. Fine. Jarl. A young crow covered in filth and scars swaggers in. First time in Aaron Keep? That's just the same story as last time. High sharpness, low mobility, two Smith's companion, hand and a half with a narrow point. Easy enough. Once a certain sharpness, so I'll make it a bit... not that thin. That thin. Narrow point. There we go. I got fuller now, so I think I'll leave a certain spine width to it. But let's make it more shaped. Inward shaped? Does that? Nope, outward shaped. Okay, I think I need to take a little bit out of the spine width. I have a very limited Discord server that is currently only for subscribers. Since I'm very small as a streamer, that's my way of trying to keep, you know, ragamuffins out. And no, I don't have a exclamation mark Discord set up. The invitations are sent by me. Either after I trust people because they come here rather often, or after a subscription I usually shared. But you should be able to share the link in chat, and well, Twitch will probably give you a no, don't share links, but I should be able to approve the message after, so it can be seen by everybody. Now, let's see if I can make a fuller. Woohoo! I have a fuller. It's been a while. Yeah, but you should still be able to send the link. I just have to approve it manually after. Nice. Don't worry, it's Friday evening, everybody's brain is a bit fried. Alright, hand and a half. How's that? Okay, good. It was too long. A Solingen Malchus. Can we have the bit darker wood? I prefer it visually. I suspect Stream Elements will time me out though. It shouldn't. I haven't given Stream Elements the right to time anybody out. At worst, Twitch will just keep the message from being sent. I didn't see a message. That's weird. Did okay if Twitch automatically redacts links now instead of not sending it, I'll file a complaint. Uh, since when? Why? Twitch? Oh, for fuck's sake. I'll try and find, I'm just playing around right now. I'll try and find, how the blade looks, later. Let me see. I didn't quite understand why Twitch redacts it like that. But I can work with that. Just a second. Nobody run away. Hold the line. Yeah, no worries. It's just... Am I misremembering how Discord links look? Oh yeah, it's a media.discord. Oh no, wait, you send a channel link. That's why I can't look at it, because I'm not in the server, aka in the channel. You'll have to send the actual picture link. Or is that a link to the Blade Song Discord? Because I'm not on that one. Yeah, that one is better. For everybody who's also waiting to see it, give me a moment and I'll put it on stream so you can see it. Discord also. Oh, for fuck's sake. Yeah, they. Discord redacted also the whole part that comes before the .jpg. Discord, why are you no, Twitch, why are you being such a grump? Ben, yeah. You're a VIP. Come on, behave. Alright, I got the picture now. Everybody get ready. I'm putting it on screen in a moment. Ah, that was work. There we go. That's how it looks. For those not capable of German, it's called Urteil, which means judgment. It looks crazy. I mean, there's some details about it I wouldn't even know how to make. Alternatively, you could go to the creative mode and give you the share code for the sword if you want a closer look at it, or you know how that works. In theory, I do, yes. I've never done it, though. Let me finish up this sword quickly. Cinches the blade and immediately makes a few savage practice cuts through the air. Yeah, he's happy. Give me money. New sword part book, Applications of Reason, Volume 1. Applications of Reason, Volume 1. Quill and Spun, Quill and Turn, Connector Divided, and Cap Helmet in the Couple War. Nice. I love getting new books. Okay, let me save and main menu and creative mode. Okay, give me the magic words. can stream right now. Oh yeah, nope. Yeah, guys. You guys are gonna look at the picture on the screen for a little bit more while I do other stuff. No, don't worry. Let me quickly droop. Droop. Wait. Why can't I not cleanly... Technology. Don't tell anybody I'm a professional developer. There we go. Let's conjure. I copied it correct. Ah, there it is. Oh my goodness. My frame rate hates it. What is this? It's a tarot card. How? Not Judge, Justice. Or is it the Judge? It's the Justice, yeah. How? I have no idea how to make a tarot card. I have no idea how to make a chain, to make chain links. Wait, there's more tarot cards. Temperance. The Star. With so much detail even. That looks like well made. How? And some star signs. Pisces, Lyra. Cygnus. Ye who stands on the dimmest light, a chance remains though frail in sight. Temperance will guide, the stars will provide. Hope rises again from the night. You who stands at the gates of fate, face the reckoning. It's far too late. The judgment will call, the tower will fall, and none can escape their own weight. The tower. Judgment. Fish, yeah, Pisces. How the heck? I mean, that blade, it is very stiff, I guess. There are so many steps to it. Okay, I actually wanted to see... I think I can't see it. I wanted to see how the values, you know, how heavy it is and all that. How did they make this? This part? Ah, thank you. Okay, it's a bit above 2 meters long. It's very heavy for a sword. The point of balance is a bit far up. I mean, I wouldn't want to get hit by it, I can say that much. Why is it? Oh, because it's so wide. Yeah, okay, that makes sense. It's actually cutting off over there, I guess. This blade is crazy. And again, I have no idea how to make a tarot card. The hand guard, basically. I have no idea how you would make such a hand guard. Go to the old mod, you should see what part it is. I don't have a list of like attached pieces, so it should be able to take it off, I guess. No. I don't even think the handguard is actually part of the hilt. It might actually be a very thick piece of sword. Of blade, I mean. I also can't like modify it in hilt mode, so I'm pretty sure it's actually part of the blade. Yeah. That explains why the blade is that long. Because the actual like blade looking part doesn't look that long. But with this, which would add like, I don't know, another 40 centimeters, it makes sense that it would be like 2 meters and 5 centimeters. Resmag. Not quite sure what Resmag would be. Alright, let's return to the actual game though. Well, we are past 2 hours actually, so instead of returning to the game, I think I will actually finally get myself some food. Ow. My knuckle cracked there. I hope everybody had lots of fun today. I know it's been another short stream, but like I've said before, it's been a hard week. Not quite sure when the next stream will be. There is Resmec is Resuro Magic. Resuro is one of those who get recruited by the Death and are makes parts. Oh, that's the dream. Okay, guys. What would you prefer? Some watching Night Rain, some watching silly Germans play Repo, or some Metroidvania. Give me your wishes. Metroidvania. Well, that's the first vote cast by the Casey. Resmag is done by making parts of the blade invisible, change thickness and width to minimum, and bending those to get the visible parts further up in the places they aren't supposed to be in. What was that earlier about low entry, high skill ceiling? I think this applies. Alright. The votes have been cast. We are going for Metroidvania with by M. Please give M my regards. Thank you for the link. I'll take a look after stream. Um, please give M my regards. Please be nice. And remember to use my rate emote. Did I forget something? And if you want to get updated next time I stream, want to get an information next time I stream, please leave a not a subscribe, a follow. I'm a professional. I'm smooth at this. Woohoo. So good. I'm making finger guns. Because I am just... What's the word again? Just that cool. Pew pew pew. Anyway, let me start the raid. Thank you for the follow, Black Metal. I think the... Okay, I need to check out why the alert didn't work. All that worked in the past. Why did I have to lose so many settings? I'll figure it out. Next time you'll see it'll work. In the meantime, thank you very much for the follow. I'll see you guys around next time. Stay safe and have fun.